Hi Year 10, we're going to look at Act 3, Scene 2 this week. This is the casket scene where Bassanio and Portia get to be together. So it's a little bit romantic. The first question on your demonstrate is comment on the way Portia opens the scene. How does it make what follows move in? So she says to Bassanio, I pray you, tarry, pause a day or two before you hazard, for in choosing wrong I lose your company. Therefore, forbear a while. She's asking him to stay longer before he makes the choice. Now remember, the rules of the game are, if he picks wrong, he cannot marry Portia, and in fact he cannot marry anybody. So once he's made that jump to try and win Portia, he's out of the game if he gets it wrong, and he's not allowed to have any communications with women. She knows that once he's picked, if he picks wrong, he's got to go, and she wants to spend more time with him. So it makes the scene is quite drawn out. It's like an X Factor finale. We're about to reveal the winning casket. It does make it moving in as much as it's building a bit of suspense, because we want our lovers to unite very fairly in the way that Portia was hoping for, and we feel thankful that the others haven't won the casket test so far. She suggests on line 9 and 10 maybe she could detain him there some month or two before you venture for me. The word venture obviously links to the word adventure. We've got the same root word. It makes it sound like he's on some epic quest for her love, which is very romantic as well. And she then goes on to say that one half of me is yours and the other half is yours. So this idea of two souls uniting in a very romantic and Christian religious marriage ceremonial way, she's sort of talking about her soul being part him, part her, but actually all of it goes to him. The next question on your sheet says, by now Portia knows that the lead casket is the correct one. Why won't she just tell Bassanio which one to choose? She's not allowed. She says how to choose right, but then I am forsworn. So she would love to tell him which one to pick. The reason she knows now, and she didn't know at the beginning, is because she's seen so many gentlemen come and pick the gold and the silver, and they've got it wrong, that she knows by the process of elimination that the lead one's right. She is forsworn, and she is a truthful, honest, upstanding young lady who cannot break the rules. However, we'll come back to that in a minute. It says, what reasons does Portia give for asking for music to be played? So we're going to flick over to line 62-ish onwards. It says, music and a song, before Bassanio comments on the caskets himself. So the song comes in at this point. She has said, just prior to that, on lines 40 to 50, she says that she would like music while he doth make his choice. Then if he lose, he makes a swan-like end. You might have heard the phrase a swan song, and that's because it was said, I don't know if this is scientifically true, that apparently swans sing as they die, and that's where the phrase swan song comes from. So she said if he picks wrong and there's music playing, it will be like her swan song, the end of her life. Very dramatic, but it will be kind of for her, otherwise she ends up with somebody she doesn't want. However, if he picks correctly, it will be like a flourish, which is like the trumpets that you would hear in a procession, celebrating that he has got the choice right. So either way round, the music is going to complement the outcome for her. Your next question then says, look again at the lines, live thou, I live, with much more dismay I view the fight than thou makest the fray. Why does Shakespeare use a rhyming couplet at this moment? Rhyming couplets, you might remember from Key Stage 3, are used quite heavily with sonnets, and it's because they're romantic. They're considered, or can be used in a romantic way. So there's an element of romance here, and of potentially doomed love if he picks the wrong casket. So see if you can try and work out a little bit more from that one, looking at the words that are included. I don't want to give you all the answers. The song, I'm not going to sing it for you, don't panic. The singer says, tell me where is fancy bred, or in the heart, or in the head, how begot, how nourished. Other singers, part of the group, reply, it is engendered in the eyes, with gazing fed and fancy eyes, in the cradle where it lies, let us all ring fancies now. I'll begin it, ding dong bell. And the other singers say ding dong bell. And then suddenly it's over to Bassanio to make his choice. It talks about the idea of fancy, which is desire. Where does desire come from? This is what the song means. Does it come from the heart or does it come from the head? How do you get it and how is it nourished? And it also says that fancy dies, desire dies. So talking about the idea that you might start a relationship full of desire and that slowly dies down and you end up as a boring old married couple. But equally, Bassanio wants to reject that idea because he knows that he truly loves Portia and it doesn't matter about desire. There's something deeper to that. The other thing you might want to notice is at the very beginning of the song, the words bread, head, nourished all rhyme with an ed ending. They rhyme with lead. She's given him a massive clue. So previously when she said, I can't tell you the answer, I've been forsworn, now suddenly, sneakily, in a song that she's asked some singers to sing, she's got lots of rhyming words to try and make him start thinking about lead. Whether or not Bassanio would have picked lead, I'm pretty sure he would have done, because it's to do with his nature as well, isn't it? The idea that he doesn't feel worthy himself, so why would he go picking gold and silver like the princes and all the lords have so far? Lead is very stereotypical for his characterisation. But let's hope he did pick up on a little clue as well. And then finally, why is Portia's aside how all the other passions for fear, isophone quite moving? Not all copies of the text have got the words aside written next to it, so it depends on which publication you're looking at as to whether or not it is an aside. She says, how all the other passions fleet to air, as doubtful thoughts and rash embrace despair, and shuddering fear and green-eyed jealousy. O love, be moderate, a lie thy ecstasy, in measure reign thy joy, scant this excess. I feel too much thy blessing, make it less, for fear I suffice. She is worried that she's going to make herself sick with worry, with anxiety, with the passion that she feels. It's quite an old-fashioned idea, but it's used a lot in quite often romantic and epic poems, the idea of somebody making themselves sick with emotion and becoming lovesick and forlorn and all these sorts of things, which obviously nowadays have genuine medical reasons attached to them. But it's quite a romantic and literary idea that Portia could make herself genuinely sick with how anxious she's feeling right now about her feelings towards Bassanio and whichever way it could go. And Bassanio then opens the lead casket. So then it's over to you to have a little look at the rest of the scene.